Good morning, PE. It's nice to be home. It's always good to be home. Hi, Justin. Julle moet my nou maar vergewe, maar ek sit nou daar tussen die boere, maar ek lag my klaar. So, thanks for making me feel welcome. This is my 26th year, Wandile. In 26th year in Transnet. Started my career in 1999, just down the road here, Port of PE. So when I say I'm back home, I'm back home. I'm born and bred, I'm a PE girl. Yeah, they say it's no longer an ESCOM problem, it's now the Transnet. We now the problem. So we're trying very hard, working, trying very smart, trying to get all of you in the room with us so that we can do what we need to do to grow the country. So I don't want to kill you with PowerPoints. I was watching that nobody's got oranges to throw at me, but I've been told that I'm quite safe today, so we'll see how it goes, okay? Please look after me. I am one of you. So if there is the urge, remember that you're dealing with your home girl. And I'm from the northern areas, so you may not want to take chances. Okay, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. It's good to see all the familiar faces again, and as I said, good to be home. Eastern Cape is very important for me, so I'm hoping that I'm going to share some positive news. It's been a tough ride, but I think we will get there. And I'm going to share with you not too much about the PowerPoints, not too much about the challenges. I really want to focus on where we are going, okay? And what we are trying to do to make not only Transnet transformed in a better place, but South Africa a better country, a growing country, a country that actually ensures that there's a better life for all our people, okay? Why this slide is important is because, as I've said, we are transforming. We've had to do a number of things in the recent past. You see that this is Transnet, by the way. Everybody thinks it's only rail and port. Maybe it should only be rail and port. Maybe it should not be rail and port. We'll see where that takes us. But for right now, this is Transnet. What I wanted to show you here, Transnet Rail Infrastructure Manager, Transnet Rail Operating Company. We have since split TFR into the Infrastructure Manager and the Operating Company. Why that is important, the infrastructure will be looked after, as the name says, by the Infrastructure Manager. And what you knew as TFR back in the past will only be responsible for running trains on that network, okay? Now, for all of you, if you are farmers, if you're transporters, you may want to get involved in operating trains. The network, as you know, is now open for private train operators. We have run a process. We have published a network statement. It will be a dynamic document. We will keep making changes because it's ultimately what is best for the country. So if you're interested in running trains, you're welcome to apply for slots on the network. Okay, maybe you can move your own fruit. We'll see how that goes, right? Then the operating company, of course, will be responsible for moving those commodities with their trains. That operating company will now be competing with private train operators. Major change, right? Major transformation, and we hope that ultimately that this is what this country requires. I'm not going to go through all of the other departments. What is important for you, of course, National Ports Authority, port terminals. Again, we started with the private sector participation. We tried, I would say. We all know that the DCT Pier 2 didn't work out as we wanted. I just heard now that that matter is going to be postponed again. Unfortunately, the judge feels that he's not ready, it's a complicated matter, and therefore he needs more time. Okay? Now, I think let's prepare ourselves, because I think as we go to market, with PSPs, and we will be going with more private sector participation projects over the next few weeks. My understanding is that, and I'll speak to it later on, the minister will be going out with an RFI, I think by Friday, asking the South African public what do they think we can do with the rail and the port infrastructure, what are their suggestions to enable us to then go to the market with even more transactions. So we are in a very exciting space. This is opportunity, and obviously I think something that everybody's been calling for, so it's going to be good. Pipelines, I won't chat to you about because that's my old life. I also make sure that Gauteng is wet, in other words, that the farmers have petrol and diesel in their trucks. That's also my business, running very well. And of course, Transnet property is a business. We have a lot of thousands of property. My job at the moment in terms of trying to help myself, you heard yesterday the minister's not giving me any money. Yep. Right? I must figure this out for myself. So if you're interested in any land and any property, please talk to us. Because I'm going to sell, well, we're selling all the non-core. Selling the lot. Focus on what we're good at. Okay? Thank you. Not too much about this, but why are we here? We have to, we heard earlier about the impact that we are having on your businesses. So we have to push to lower the cost of doing business. We want to enable growth so that our people are out of poverty. We want to ensure that there is security of supply, get your commodity to the ports at the right time, and so that it doesn't spoil and that it gets to its markets on time. Those are the things that we want to do. We want to do it in a cost-effective way. Competitiveness, I've explained. We think that as we introduce the private sector into our business, as we continue to collaborate with the private sector, that we will see the system becoming more competitive. I talked about collaborating with the private sector. Good governance. Everybody thinks I do the procurement in Transnet. I do not do the procurement in Transnet. Don't ask me for business. Okay? And don't get upset when I say to you, I do not do the procurement in Transnet. Okay? I get all sorts of people asking me for all sorts of stuff. I'm sorry. I run a railways. I have to move commodity so that I can earn revenue and do it in the most cost-effective way. Right? I don't give people jobs. I create jobs. We try to. Okay? So please don't get upset when I say there's rules to be followed. We want to run a clean business. Okay? Grow the market share and ensure that we're financially sustainable. I will show you a picture. I don't want to go through too much of the history, colleagues, because challenges are challenges. My job is to see how do we move forward and how do we get out of that, right? We are very aware of the requirements of the sector. I've spent a lot of time myself, my people have been engaging to see, let us get you into the room, let us decide together how we make the system work, to the benefit of everybody. Everybody wants better positioned rail sidings, they want additional reefer train sets, they want to see everything about the NAVA system. Everybody's upset about truck booking system. You want to compete against the rest of the world, then you must do what the rest of the world does and you must do it better. We can't in South Africa, because we have thousands of trucks, decide that we don't want appointment system. Don't come to the port if you don't have an appointment. Okay? We figure out how to make the system work, but we make the system fix itself together. What we don't do is switch off. So we have to try and make it work. And it does work. Why it doesn't have to work in South Africa makes no sense when it works in the rest of the world. Okay? So we have to get this right. Okay? Of course, you want off-dock facilities. You want to make sure that your cold chain is, that it works and that everything gets to where it needs to be. I've had to do a few things in Transnet since being appointed. It's about 18 months now, 1 year formally. But we had to fix and optimize the business. It's one of the reasons why we would come to you and come to the shipping lines and go to the customers and say, how do we do this? Let's open the door, let's get joint solutions. That's collaboration. So we've had to optimize and enhance the current system, right? Ports had no equipment. I was in Pier 1 about 2 weeks ago. We were launching some new equipment there. I was the first terminal manager of that terminal when we opened it in around about 2007. In 18 years, it's the first time that we've now started renewing the fleet. Okay? That doesn't happen in the rest of the world. You want your country to grow, you must invest. Okay? So, I will tell you what we're going to be doing for the other terminals soon. PE, I will always look after you. Justin, I gave you a mobile crane before I left TPT the last time. I'm giving you another crane next month. It's here, it's being built, okay? So, ship-to-shore crane, you've got it. I'll share with you what more that's coming. Transforming the business, I've discussed with you about the PSP. Lot more changes. We've heard about the freight logistics roadmap that's been approved in cabinet. We've heard about all these PSPs that I have to go to market with. It's going to be happening. I've told you about the infrastructure manager, that's happening, and I've told you about the access that private train operators will now have to the network. And we'll talk to, of course, once we've gone to the market with port and rail infrastructure, what that will then mean for our business. And then, of course, we have to expand, because it's no use you doing all these things and you're not growing. So private sector, by no means are we going to allow you to come into our business and then everything stands. The expectation is that we will grow the country, okay? This has been my focus. Everybody's been complaining about the inefficiencies in the ports, and one of the first things that we've had to do is we've had to almost re-energize the operations function within the business. So a lot of talk about the impact that we have on the industry, a lot of talk about, like I said, equipment, people, productive. You come to work, you do your job, you meet your targets, and then you go home and you have a nice time with your family. Everything, all that we do, we work towards ensuring operational execution and optimization of our business. Of course, that's underpinned, as I've said, equipment, people, collaboration with our customers, PSPs, making it more digital environment, and of course, nothing at the expense of safety. Funding remains a problem, but ek kom van die baie en ons gaan 'n plan maak, so. I think the Minister of Finance, you know, every time he thinks about me, I'm the problem child who needs to go, who needs tough love, Minister, they say. They say I need tough love. We'll take that tough love and we'll turn it around, and hopefully, you know, with all of us working together, this will be better. Now, I want to share this slide because I think it's important, because when you decide to hit me over the head in the newspapers, remember the numbers, right? The numbers don't lie. 2022-23, Transnet delivered 149.5 million tons. You can see the decline. The decline didn't start during COVID. The decline started 2018-19. You agree? We were at our peak in 2017-2018, 226 million tons. The minister wants 250 million tons. 250 million tons is not a Transnet target. It is an SA Inc. target. So Transnet will focus on what it does and do it well, and the private sector will need to get us to the 250 million tons. Okay? That's how we're going to do this. So you see the decline, 215, 212, whoop, COVID, 183. So it came all the way down. When we brought the clever people, Prof. Jan Havenga, into the room to help us with the modeling, he said, well, if you don't change something right now, this is 18 months ago, you are going to end up between 139 and 141 million tons. Okay. We ended the year on 151.7 million tons. I'm not looking at the 140s anymore. You can clap hands for this one. You clap hands. This financial year, you can see the target is 170. I'm not going to make the 170, and all the reasons are there, but we are going to be getting very close, or in fact, we're going to be exceeding. In fact, I've just exceeded 152 last week. So chances are, I could just go over the 160 mark, okay? It's moving in the right direction. Are we making money? Not necessarily, okay? But the volumes are going in the right direction. Why are we not making money? Because we're spending a lot of money on fixing, on doing backlog maintenance that has not been done before, bringing equipment into the system that should have been brought into the system years ago. Financial costs are strangling me. I pay about 1.5 billion rand a month interest. Okay? 1.5 billion. Can you imagine? Farmers. 1.5 billion, right? So, but volumes are going up, okay? We'll make it work. We're South Africans. It's what we do, okay? I want to move quickly. I'm going to move through this because of stuff. This is the policies, guys. This is the policies. I'm watching the time here. These are the policies. These are the things that we're working on. Freight logistics roadmap, economic regulation, all of these compliance issues. By the way, Minister, this also costs money because I have to employ people to make sure that I don't step out of line. Hundreds of people, thousands, okay? But there you see it. I want to draw your attention to the last block where it talks about the National Treasury conditions. So we were forced to go to government for some support last year, and they gave us a 47 billion rand guarantee. So I'm in debt. They gave me authority to go borrow more. That's what a guarantee is. Government, in fact, government does not fund Transnet. There's no money, there's no cash that comes from government to Transnet. Okay? Government has, for the first time, I've been in Transnet 26 years, given us a guarantee to the size of 47 billion. They'll probably have to give us additional guarantees now for the new year, but we'll continue to apply for funding and hope that, something comes. But for the most part, we earn revenue, we go to the markets, we borrow, that's why we're in debt. We then have to do something with that, invest it, make money, put it back into the business. That's how we've been surviving. So I always, and I said, yeah, you people are wasting taxpayers' money. I'm like, yeah, But we actually, we weren't as lucky as Eskom. So these are the things that we have to do, and we will do that for government. So we will go to the market, and we will go to the private sector, and we will keep asking for money, and we will make available land, rail lines, branch lines. If you have a siding, you may want to run your own trains to the ports. We'll see how that will go going forward. Again, I don't want to focus on the past because we can see what the guys have done, but a lot of things that the rail guys have done in terms of ensuring that there's train capacity. You can see reefer train sets to the Port of Durban. We're talking about 3 Bella Bella trains per week, 2 city deep trains a week. It's a lean facility that's not operational for various reasons, but lots of work going in to ensure. And then, of course, we have Balcon. Maersk guys have done very well by getting that terminal up and running in the way they have. Deal Party, both for Port of Cape Town, Port of Muga, NCT and PE, and then, of course, Bayhead terminal that we've also, we've put it in place. The solution is there. Unfortunately, we haven't had any uptake from the industry. So it's available. Rather than come to the port, you can take your goods to a backup port facility, and we shuttle it into the terminal. And then, of course, the other services, Ceres to Table Bay, and PSPs. Once this rail reform is up and running, we'll be able to come to the market and say, you know what, maybe as Transnet, we don't want to play in this market. Is there someone available who would want to take it over? And let's talk and let's negotiate, and we can have a concession or a PSP. You can see, all of the red. The slide is purely to show to you, yes, we want collaboration so that we can have solutions, but when you see the red there, that shows you how bad the network is. I have a derailment, not one, a few, every day. Literally, on a daily basis, something's happening on the rail lines. I have to fix it. We will spend the money to get the network to the right standard, right? But it's going to take time. In the meantime, private operators, get ready. When you come into this network, you're going to go, you'll spend time with us, you'll go in, you'll have a look, and you'll see what that network looks like. But we need to make sure that that network is up to standard so that it can deliver the volumes that we wanted to deliver. I'm showing you there the potential new reefer flows that will be available through PSPs. Tsenin to Durban Port, Orchard to Cape Town Port, Elgin to Cape Town, Sundays River Valley, Hannes, to Ngutja and PE, Klaver, Vredendal, Cato Ridge, Musina. Okay? Okay, I don't think we must worry too much. This one is Balkan. I think you're familiar with Balkan. You can just see the numbers there. It's getting better and getting better and getting better, so we know that the solution works. The MERS guys will be very pleased that I'm promoting them, but you can see it's increasing the cold chain capacity, it's improved the terminal efficiency, it's decongested the port and surrounding areas, and it's attracting volumes to rail, and we need to keep pushing on this and more of these type of developments. Transnet Park Precinct, you can see there, we've got Balkan, there's the little Maersk area, there's other land there that we want to make available for upgrading, to expanding additional land parcels that we would want to go to market with and make that available for either leasing or, long-term leases. I'm thinking more 10 years and up, because obviously when you invest, you want to see a return, and it needs to be over a longer term. So these are the kind of things that you'll see us doing in terms of investment opportunities. And Justin will share this with everybody because there's a lot more that I think I'm going to skip over very quickly. This shuttle service, Deal Party, Ngutja, PE, very important, either way, bidirectional. This has been sort of a service that they introduced with United this past year. So some work there to be done, but of course, I think this can be further expanded. Yeah. Port, I'm not going to go through all the details. I think by people who have met with some of you and your associations to see how you're going to be doing some work. Pier 1, you can see the additional reefer plugs that will be made available. The kind of things that they will be doing just to ensure that we are able to optimize on the performance. The projection, I mean, everybody wants to at least, they've given themselves a target of improving the volumes by at least 10%. Okay? I'm not going to go through too much of it because it's a lot of detail, but I think it'll be available for all of you. The slots that will be available, the arrangements in respect of the appointments, etc., the rail, and all of that. Point has really helped us this year, and we'll continue to invest in Point. But I want to get to some nice slides. I've got 6 minutes, okay. Then Eastern Cape, I've said we're going to be probably in March, or no, we're in March now, next month. We're going to be launching the new ship-to-shore crane. I don't know when last PE received a ship-to-shore crane. Like the real one, not the mobile. Mobile has helped, but this is a real one, right? It's a ship-to-shore one. So it's going to help. And then what we're going to do is we're going to back her up with, we've already ordered, it's on its way, 12 straddle carriers to support the PE container terminal. So that's going to be coming, and you'll see that. Hopefully the CTOC windows that everybody's fighting with us about is completed by the end of this month, so that we can have a good season in 25-26. But yeah, we're hoping that everybody understands that CTOCs can't go to everyone. There are very strict rules in respect of the CTOCs, but we will of course ensure that everything is fair. One point I want to raise last year, or this past year, that knocked us, is everybody was saying, Red Sea vessels are coming your way. What are your opportunities? You need to grab these opportunities. We were battered by the weather. So were these big vessels from the Red Sea. They were battered. And guess who had to give them refuge? We did. And they were sitting on working berths. And by the way, then also impacted, I think a lot of people got very nervous because they were concerned about their fruit. But the rules are, when there's a vessel in distress, you have to give them refuge. So, we're going to hope and pray, ons gaan amper op ons knieë dat dit nie weer met ons gebeur nie, because this season has to work better than last year. Okay? Western Cape, Minister, you'll be pleased to know that I think your RTGs, the first batch for Cape Town, is on its way. They should be on the water. The first 9, we're bringing them in containers because we will not have them come in fully built up and then have them fall in the water. So we will assemble them on site. The first 9, we will start assembling, and they'll be coming in, I think, on a monthly or 2-monthly basis after that, but I'll share the numbers with you. So at least 28 RTGs coming for Cape Town Terminal, right? These are the numbers. In terms of the fleet renewal, I've got 3 minutes, so as long as the guys know this, then we know it's going to work, right? KZN, I'll go to the big ones. You'll see straddles, the 20 that Pier 2 is getting, 40 trailers for Pier 1 and for Pier 2. Yeah. Then Western Cape, you can see we gave them 2 reach stackers, 23, this is now 24, 25. We gave them that should be 47 haulers and trailers and 2 reach stackers. Eastern Cape, Muga, 50 haulers and trailers, and 1 ship-to-shore crane. That's what I was just talking about now, March 25. 3.4 billion across the 8 terminals. 25, 26, more good news. I feel like Oprah. You've got one, and you've got one. Okay. I want to go to the ones that matter to you. DCT, Pier 1, RTGs, they will have a full complement of 16 RTGs. 18 haulers at Pier 2, forklifts, and then 4 new ship-to-shore cranes for DCT Pier 2. They're going to replace those, was it the Spanish cranes that we've got there on the South Quay. So 4 new cranes that should be there by December. Western Cape, Minister, there's your 28 RCGs, all new, and then some straddle carriers for your APT terminal to help us with the wind recovery, right? I don't want to challenge you on the name of your Premier, but I've got a feeling that Premier Wendy and the wind. Okay. Port Elizabeth, 12 straddle carriers is coming your way, 4 billion rand. I don't have the money, but I'm going to spend it. Okay? I'm paying my bond with my credit card. It's such bad leadership. Where's the leadership guy? I'm so sorry. But people need this. Okay? So, colleagues, there's across this value chain, you can get involved in terms of private sector partnerships. The minister will publish our RFI. It's here somewhere. There's the timelines. She'll publish our RFI, I think, by the end of this week. If it's not this week, it'll be the end of next week. But it's definitely coming. They will look at that. They will look at what the South Africans are saying about how their network, the freight rail and the port network needs to work. And we will listen and we will try to frame the kind of transactions that we need to go to the market with. I think I'm going to leave it there. 54 seconds to spare. Yeah.